What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The 17th of October, we're going to look at Aerodrome Finance slash the United States dollar. This will be a daily chart. This will be the data from Coinbase. Well, so far we got 2 days of a pullback, and today we're off to a green day in the market for Aerodrome, up 2.27%. We'll see. We'll see how far this pullback goes. If we take a zoom in here, I have the chart zoomed out currently so you can see the magnitude of this rise here once it broke that descending trend line. You know, nice move to the upside, little blip in the road here, but we've just met new upper targets. 144.69 is where our top came in for our resistance. We hit a high of the whole move of 148. We are currently trading at 139. We're going to talk about a couple things here, guys. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been around a little while. So we have a couple things to talk about here for the markets. We have Bitcoin moving higher once again. We actually got long the Bitcoin futures, the micro futures, yesterday, twice this week, back in as of yesterday. So we'll see how that holds up. Maybe that's an indication of Bitcoin rising, and then, perhaps Aerodrome rising as well. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. 68,000 is our target up there, our next target in line for Bitcoin. So we're quiet here. We still don't have a. Yesterday was an inside day. Today is so far a new high and a new low. Again, we don't know what will happen here. What's interesting is the markets are finding support for the downside at the 134 level. You can see these lows here. So the 14th, the 15th, not on Wednesday, but so far today, all the lows are supporting at our 134 level. So that's one of the levels that we were looking for as these markets started to break out on the 13th. Nice to see some support there. I mentioned recently we could pull back as far as 128, 129. That would be the ceiling of here, the ceiling of resistance that got broke out on the 13th. So to see a pullback to that area would be very normal. Got the breakout, a pullback to this area, turning it into support before moving higher would be very normal to see. So we're not going to talk about any further upside targets just yet. So hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me later today if these markets explode to the upside. But we're actually going to talk about some downside support targets. It's been a while. We've had a massive run to the upside. We haven't really focused on anything lower, but we're going to discuss two new levels below the market. Again, hopefully this doesn't come back and bite me and we start to break out to the upside, before I get new targets up here. If we do start to break out higher today, which, of course is possible, obviously 144.69, we got to get above. The next in line will be the 150, the 156, and I don't think if for any reason we break out, we're going to end up higher than that, at least today. Back up to the 144 is a 4% move. To the 150, let's call it a 8 or 9% move. And then 156, you're at about a 12 to 13% move. I think that'll keep us covered today. Again, not quite ready here. If today starts to get strong, then maybe I'll change. But right now, I'm not quite ready to put some new upper targets here on this chart. The ones that are up here now have been here for a long time. They are valid, but I'd rather have fresh ones, just like before this move here broke out. I added the 132, 134, and 144.69, and you can see the 144.69 is ultimately where the resistance came in. But so far, today's our third day on a pullback. So we'll see what happens. Let's focus a little bit of time here on to the downside. So, I'm not saying markets are going lower. Bitcoin's actually starting to break out to the upside. But if for some reason we get an aggressive sell-off, I'd rather have some levels on the chart that you guys could keep an eye on. So, keeping in mind that, there's a ton of price levels on this chart. It's getting very busy. I really need to clean things up a bit here, especially ones that are way below or way above current markets. To the downside, we have a new level at $1.10, so 1.107. That is a new target that it was added here this morning. That was not on this chart in recent videos. It's in purple. It's right here. I just zoomed out so you get a scale of what a potential pullback could be. So right here, 110.7, 1.107 is a new support level. Potential support if these markets aggressively pull back. Another new level we have on the chart, we got two of them as we mentioned, is 95.812. 95.812, guys. 0.95.812. 95812. This purple line right here. So the 110 and the 95 are two new levels. If for whatever reason, which I don't think will happen, markets fall off a cliff today, for whatever reason, and we find ourselves at 110, you're at a 20% move. And if we find ourselves down at 95, you are a 30% move to the downside. So those are new levels. If you're interested, the $1.10, the 95.812. Again, we'll see what happens here. I mean, the trend's higher. It's clear, okay? If you haven't seen that by now, I don't know where you've been. Do I think we're ready to break out here again? We'll know a little bit more after today's session. But I don't think the pullback is quite done here for Aerodrome. But let's not forget the trend is clearly higher. The real key level is getting back above 144.69 as that's our current resistance. Let's see here. Let's take a quick zoom in here. Yeah, I mean, if we don't break the 134 level, which so far we haven't, we have 3 days of support, that'll really start to lean, and especially if we start to march higher and test again the 144, then maybe, okay, we're ready to break out again. The pullback is not going to be as deep as quite, what we've seen over here, which was, I think, about 2 weeks, and maybe it's ready. Of course, that'll be coupled with if we get a monster day in Bitcoin, Aerodrome is not going to go lower. It's going to march higher. We're going to see it above 144.69 very quickly. So I will get those new upper price targets here on the chart soon for you guys to keep an eye on if we do start to break out. And saying that, keep your eye on the 150 and the 156 for today. If for whatever reason we blast off, and I don't think we'll see anywhere up here, but we do have a 183 and a 186 higher. All right, over to BTC USD. It's down a little bit. We're obviously breaking out to the upside, guys. I said we bought Bitcoin futures, I believe, twice this week. We're back in as of yesterday. We took out the highs over here. We took out the highs over here. We had a lower low, but that reversed into a higher high. Current resistance above the market target, we're not there yet, is 68,748 for Bitcoin. And then above that, you're at 71,335. Looks like a little stalling here, though. A little bit of a weak close on Wednesday, so a little red today. Not surprised, but of course that could switch quickly as the momentum switched back to the upside. You can see Bitcoin has found some resistance here in the past, this level and as well as the 71. But hey, we'll see that sometimes. I talk about, markets making lower lows and lower highs and higher lows and higher highs. Sometimes, guys, and you see it in a lot of major market bottoms. You'll get an undercut of a major low or a breakout of a major high, and then the trend will actually flip and go in the opposite direction. So we had a move down here to a higher low. We had a move right here on the 7th of October to a lower high. That was a concern. Markets broke down, boom, lower low. You would think, okay, the trend's getting ready to go down, which would be, the way I look at the markets, valid reason. You got a lower high, you got a lower low. What does it do? Flips, rallies all the way, takes out two major highs. You could call this a short squeeze. So this is, one of the reasons why trading isn't always black and white. If you're trading this and you're getting short on a lower low and the market flips and rallies all the way past two major new highs, that's where stops come into place, because obviously, you're going to get crushed if you're short down at 60 and the market's up at 67 now. Anyways, that's just the way it works sometimes. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Bitcoin is trading at 67,225. Which is 0.5%. Aerodrome is up 2.27%, trading at $1.39. Aerodrome from the 61 breakout to current trading is 127%. New targets 110.7, 95, 812. Those are the new downside targets. You can add to your chart, write them down, keep an eye on them, whatever you want to do. Guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not yet. A lot of viewers are not yet subscribed. Interesting. So go ahead and turn the bell on if you want to be notified, or just hit that subscribe button so you'll see us in your feed or on your homepage. Not financial advice. We'll catch you guys in the next one.